Greetings. It is the day of Marnie. Let us talk about the moon. Now, it's fair to say that the moon is something that has incredible draw and intrigue about it. We are currently in a full moon cycle phase of a powerful moon, especially in Norse paganism. So it is a powerful time to practice if that is your want. I think it's fair to say at this point, just to quote from Voluspa, stanza 5, "From the south, sun, companion of the moon, threw her right hand round the sky's edge. Sun did not know where she had her hall. The stars did not know where they had their stations. The moon did not know what might he had." Sometimes you can be slow to sort of think about things, or I would say for the longest time, especially as a creative writer, with the LARP system I created, I focused on the moon being lunar female. It's almost like moving away from folk tales or tales you're told as a child. You move to a stage where, I suppose, it's been my journey, it's not necessarily everyone else, that the moon, because of its changing cycles, is more feminine. So I've had to adjust, moving into Norse paganism, of unlearning that and focusing more on Marnie being masculine, being male. And this is also one of those aspects within Norse paganism where I feel it touches upon, or is a significant part of the animist side of the faith, or where Norse paganism and animism readily converge. Mainly because we see or we feel that Odin and Frigg, Balder are personified as figures, the Aesir. And while Suna and Mani are deities in their own right, they are of a different nature. Or at least that's how it feels to me at this moment in time in my practice. I am happy to evolve and see how that might change. I just feel in particular that this taps into an animistic side of things. And again, it's one of those things I see that a lot of people want it to be one thing or the other. And from my practice, and I'd say to some extent what I can see in some people I associate with, they're of a similar mind, not exactly the same. Can't speak for other people and what they believe. It's just more, there is something about the moon and the sun, and it's on a slightly different level. It doesn't fit into the same box as, let's say, Odin and Frigg and Balder and that. But that doesn't mean they don't sort of inhabit the same sort of faith or order of things. It's just a different way of the power manifesting. And one of the things I'm entertaining is it's strange, because when you're a child you're sort of taught about the man in the moon, and sort of it's one of those things that as you get older you cast aside, and yet thinking about it, it's comes back to fairy tales, to folk tales, that it's just reminders of pagan beliefs, Norse pagan beliefs, that the moon is indeed a man, a male, and I would say modern education sort of teaches it out of you to consider that, because you leave behind childish things, or even sort of bringing this up in conversation, and it's just like, well, that's a childish belief, surely. And yet that's I suppose, I'm not wanting to get into sort of society bashing, that's what's educated out of us, that's really something that is us at a base level of being. I've not as yet really done a lot of work with Marnie. It's not because I don't want to. I think it's more because if we're camping or we're outside, and I don't know, generally sort of being accessible to power and to the land rights, to the gods, it tends to be something you're in awe of. It's one of those magical parts of being outside camping, having a fire, having a drink, talking, and sort of being drawn to not just the majesty but the mystery of seeing the stars and seeing the passage of the moon during the night. It is quite powerful. It is moving. It is something to behold. Even last night, sort of knowing we have this special moon at the moment, looking out the window just to see it in the distance. Let's sort of put the photo I took up here, and sort of just trying to capture some of the inspiration Marnie can give to you. It's important to, I don't know, draw it into your practice in one way or another, or to not ignore it. There is a lot of power, and trying to understand it is, I know, I suppose it's one of those quests, really. It's that sort of, it is magnificent. There is awe. You can't ignore it. I mean, I remember sort of as a child, and really a memory I have given to me by my nan is sort of the moon will always guide you home. The way it sort of is always there in the sky when you're in a car or making a journey home, and you sort of start looking at it and going, yeah, how is it doing that? It is a very special and sacred thing, and I guess as I'm making this second stage in my journey, it's quite on cue with the timing to take a short time to respect and show some admiration for Marnie. Thank you for watching this video. Do take care, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.